down. So you look at fixed payments, anything you financed. Get rid of the car and buy one outright. Get a $1,000 beater and get rid of the $500 a month payment, and be done. If you have a huge house, well, technically you can't afford that house. It's time to get a smaller one. Things like that. Those are the things that you have to make a decision on, the tough decisions. Or, or finance more extended. I would advise against that. I'm really opposed to debt. Debt's a reality for most of us, but it's not a good thing because it makes you enslaved to the lender. Okay. Then you have to track your expenditures. Just like a check register, the tool has different categories, and then it has how much you spend in each category, and then a couple other columns just for your record-keeping purposes, just like a check register. So this is real time. So as you spend money, which we do it probably 2 or 3 times a month, we'll update the spreadsheet. It takes 2 minutes. It really takes no time as you spend money. And so Cindy only pays the bills, I think, twice a month. And then we really don't use cash, so there's really not a lot that's not in either our debit card or something like that. And so you do your register. Now, that's all good and fine, but that still doesn't do anything for you. This is what does something for you. Because this will show you, now it's hard to see the colors there, but these are in different colors. And it's yellow, red, and green. Green is your good. Yellow is you're within 10% of your allowable. Red is you're over budget. Now, it's okay to be over budget on any single category. Occasionally, if you had $1,200 a year for vacation, and you go on the vacation, well, that month, technically you have $100 a month for all 12 months. So that month you could spend $1,200. So you're over budget, but that's okay, because your monthly balance is what you're looking for. How much actual money is coming in? Now some tricks for people who are on salary. You know how we either get paid weekly or biweekly is normal for most people. You want to put in there what you get every month for the income. And then you have extra paychecks. Because what happens is if you take your annual salary and divide it by 52, well, guess what? For 10 of those months, you don't have enough money. Right? For 10 months, you're only getting 2 paychecks if you're biweekly. And then for only 2 months, you get an extra paycheck. So you want to make sure that it's the money that you actually make for income, and then you have extra paychecks for income. So it's vital that you track things like that. So you might be over in any couple categories, but there's several categories you would be under on. Understanding if you have a variable for $1,000 a year for auto repair and a variable for $1,200 a year for vacation, well, chances are you're not going to be spending both at once. So you can be over on one and under on another and still balance for your net total budget. And that allows you to make decisions. How am I doing on the total budget this month? How am I doing for an allotted category? Can we go out to eat? Yes. Great. I know. I have the information real time. Okay. I have a lot of time here. Okay. So I can just keep going forever. Thank you. Don't say that. I can talk. No, I won't do that. But I actually don't have much else. But the other, I went fast. So the other important details are there's graphs available. You can look at the different graphs and pick the category you want to look at and see how you're tracking for the year compared to your anticipated. If you get a raise, you can go through and adjust your income on the fly, and it actually adjusts annually for every category properly. If you all of a sudden anticipate spending more on something, you get a new car payment, you can change it on the fly. So these are all really practical, simple things that allow you to use it as a stewardship tool similar to what a project manager would use professionally. So, and that's why I did this. So, anyway, just going to mention some of our products. You're welcome to go to our booth and see what we have. But we have several books. We have a home management bundle that includes 3 chapters from that first book, Values-Driven Family, which has home management, budget, scheduling, a lot of the practical things I talked about. And that includes the budget software and a bunch of planner pages, different schedule templates, things like that. So you're welcome to take a look at that. It's $5. It's on a CD. It's downloadable too. You can go to our website and get it for $5. Then all our books, it's mostly on discipleship, personal spiritual growth, and parenting, family matters. That's most of our materials are on that. And then there's a coloring book, and my wife has a couple emotional wellness materials that are audio seminars. Welcome to take a look at those as well. And then we also sell, this is my wife, she sells beautiful products, Supermom, pills, things like that, natural health and wellness. We sell them at a deep discount, so if you do use any of those products, definitely save some money and buy them from us. And with that, I will open you up to any questions. We have a lot of freebies, by the way. Budgeting, free, good. Sign up for our newsletter. Go to our booth. You can sign up for our newsletter, and you'll have access to dozens and dozens of free ebooks, different resources, and different tools just for signing up for our newsletter. And we send out a newsletter about every. Well, at first you'll get one a week for 10 weeks, with different freebies and tips. And we put out articles, and you'll track our family in Kenya and things like that. It's part business, part a family, and part ministry. So. And if you have any questions, feel free.
What are you going to be doing in Kenya?
What I do is primarily church planting, pastoral training, church reproduction. So New Testament practices, organic, simple church, house church planting. So I'm working with an organization out there. It's called Global Gospel Ministries. They have a lot of classic institutional churches, and they're prepared to do a little more kingdom expansion work out there. So I've recently come back from there. I trained about 100 pastors, and I was really burdened that they could use a more permanent presence out there to do that work. So, and I also do the marriage counseling, the parenting, stuff like that too. I'll be doing a lot of that out there too. They have real needs with family. Their AIDS epidemic is phenomenal. They have real needs. They have a lot of real needs. So there's a lot of ministry opportunities. Yes.
What recommendations do you have for adjusting the percentage of your income for savings? Like you're saying, you need to make savings an expense.
Yes.
So what is your recommendation to say, a certain percentage, perhaps, of income would be considered a reasonable savings expense, or how do you go about categorizing savings?
Okay. I would probably differ with a lot of people's opinions with that, because typically you look at you're going to look at your fixed expenses, things that are not variable that you don't have a choice. And you're pretty much going to look at what's left and then make decisions based on that. But I'm not a huge proponent of savings. Personally, I don't know of a lot of biblical precedents for savings, even retirement savings. So it's counterintuitive compared to a lot of teaching that's out there. I personally don't save. When I have extra money, I literally give it away. Most people don't do that because.
One thing you said in there was, make the savings spend.
Yes. So it's what's left, really. But make sure once you have what's left, then be vigilant about it. Be consistent. So the amount that's set is not a fixed amount that I would preset. It really is governed by your income and your fixed expenses. So it's pre-governed. But I'm not big on saving lots of money personally, which is not what most people would teach. I'm not a rainy day saving kinds of guy because I'm a kingdom saving kinds of guy. It's treasures in heaven, and whenever I need money, it tends to materialize. So, and we have a long track record of that, just living by faith. But I don't advise that for everybody, but that's how we live. And
I just know with like homeschooling, as we've been saving to pay for our curriculum.
yes.
Preparing
Yeah.
for curriculum expenses.
And that's not savings technically. That's pre-spending.
Okay.
Savings for the sake of savings is one thing. If you know you're buying a car in 3 years, treat it like a car payment. In 3 years, you're pre-spending. Savings for pre-spending is one thing. Savings for the sake of savings is another.
Okay, that's kind of where I was.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. No, because when I say savings, typically it's not pre-spending. That's just extra money that does not have an allotted category. That type of money most people, the tithing is what's taught by most people. And philosophically, I'm like, if you don't need the money, honestly, give to the needy. That's really biblical. So tithing is a minimum, I think, personally. And most people think their moral obligation is fulfilled because they've given 10% to the local church. And the reality is, no, the biblical model is if there are those that are in greater need than you, then you should try to make it so there's equality and give cheerfully. Anything else? No? Well, thanks a lot.